Ciao, everyone. This is Eszter.
Alfred, reporting live in front of a studio audience today.
You've always wanted to say that. That's hilariosity. Hello, everyone. Welcome to You, Me, and Sicily. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, welcome to our channel where we come to you every week talking about all things Sicilian. And today we have a special guest coming on who has flown a very long way to be here with us. So we're very excited about that. A big ching ching to you, Alfred, because he brought you a very special gift. What are you drinking?
I am drinking. You ought to write this down too, okay? Write it down. Get a piece of paper and a pencil. Angel's Envy. Fine Kentucky bourbon from Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, it's great. It's aged in oak cask from Portugal. It's got a beautiful vanilla finish. Not the bad Alfredo sauce.
Now look
I'm probably
at this
the only guy
necklace.
in Sicily to have this.
I got this from him.
Shame.
Beautiful.
That's great. Huh?
Beautiful
Anyways, I'm
thing.
having a drink today. It's been crappy weather. All the leaks I had that I was bitching and moaning about a couple weeks ago, they're all back.
Yeah. But we haven't had rain in a long time, so it's good to see that happening. This week, we start tours for the first time in 2 years. So that's a pretty big deal. I have my friends coming from North Carolina, and we're going to be zigzagging all over the island. I'm very excited for that. Looks like the weather may hold out. So
you know something? I'm excited for Eszter because you don't know how hard Eszter works preparing for the arrival of our clients. I mean, literally, she's almost to the point of exhaustion before they come. Okay, so basically the show, when they get here, is kind of like post, you know what I'm saying? It's like extra stuff because the devil is in the preparation. And I really have to tip my hat today to the Bunster because really all I do is watch TikTok.
Crazy. All right. So we're going to talk to our friend Jim Ingram a little bit about what brought him to Sicily, about his views in Sicily. But first, you have a few things you want to talk to people about.
Okay. The first thing I want to say is Angel Envy bourbon. Okay. You have no idea how good it is. And it was. He also brought for me, my pal Jimmy, two, not one, two. Romeo and Juliet cigars. So between him and my pal Bertie Sapienza, they were very generous to me for cigars. So I'm making a requirement. If any of my pals are now coming to see me, you have a tradition to bring to Alfredo sauce, that's me, from duty free, Romeo and Juliet or Monte Cristo, numero 4.
Okay, I'm easygoing, so I'm good with that. All right, so let's talk real quick about the Sicilian Project, and then we'll get Jimmy on here.
Sicilian Project. Giovanni Lanza reports that we've gotten several donations into our Sicilian Project website, www.thesicilianproject.com. This is all in all serious now. We're trying to hustle up from donors 7,000 euro to give out starting on Thanksgiving, our Christmas giving. Okay, we have a list of places as long as my arm that needs money. Okay, so what we decided to do is pass it out and do it by region as best as we can. So I mean, right now we got 1,000 in last week, so we wanted 7, now we want 6. So if you can show in your heart, go to www.thesicilianproject.com. Make a donation from $1 to a lot of money, whatever you do, it's transparent. If $100 comes in, $100 goes out. And the last thing I wanted to say is, me and Eszter, we are now going to accept corporate sponsors to help us defray the cost for pretty cheap money. Okay, and by what I mean by a corporate sponsor is somebody who's in business, whether it's private business, etc. A corporation would be nice, but you know, we don't need that much money to bring our programming to you. So here's what the deal is, okay? On our webpage, You, Me, and Sicily, $175 a year, and you can become a corporate sponsor. And we'll also give you a shout out on the live programming and also on our videos that we put up.
We'll put a full screen. That's right.
For $300, we'll do it for 2 years, and we'll let you put, besides the link to your website, a little one-sentence blurb on our page as well. This is something new, and if you'd like more info on it, simply contact Eszter, and she'll give you the skinny on that. So those are the two things I wanted to talk besides my T-shirts.
All right. So listen, you guys, here's what we're going to do. Don't go anywhere.
What?
Okay. Don't go anywhere. Jimmy, you're going to want to come over here. Come on over, and don't go anywhere. If you, we need some music or something right now. Okay, here we are. We're back. We're back. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we've been having some crazy weather here, and we're just rolling with the punches. And here we have our friend Jim Ingram. James Ingram. Yeah, he sounds Sicilian, right? Welcome, Jim.
Hey, yes, sir.
Okay, ching ching. Ching ching to you.
Ching ching to you.
Of course.
It's lipstick on
That's
the glass.
lipstick on my glass. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to talk to Jim about coming to Sicily. This is his 4th time here. He was also stationed at Sigonella Naval Base as part of, you were a serviceman, and you were in the...
I was the Navy, the staff Navy chaplain.
The staff Navy chaplain, and he's been coming and going. We've been good friends for a few years, so I'm very excited to have you on the program. And so the first thing I really want to know, because there's a lot of stories that we have been talking about over the years. Come on up and sit up a little bit. And one thing is, like, how does a man like Jim Ingram find himself in Sicily, moving to Sicily, and here 4 times?
Well, first of all, my mother's father was born on the other side of the island.
Yeah.
And along with his 4 brothers and their mother, their father, we have some deep Sicilian roots.
Yeah.
And my grandfather came to the United States at the turn of the 20th century, like so many other Sicilian families. And they were not rich. They were extremely poor, like you've talked about so many times. The general population of Sicily at that time, if you had a job, you were lucky. If you had any education, you were lucky. And so they came from a little subdivision, I guess we could call it, in the States, of Contrada Spagnola.
Yeah.
It's right literally 2 to 3 blocks from the salt flats in Marsala.
Okay. And so let me just ask you, so that was on which side of the family?
My mother's side.
That's your mother's dad.
Yeah.
And then your father's side?
My father's side dates back to 1721, Scotch-Irish immigrant.
So you're a little bit of a mix.
I'm a mutt.
But
let's be honest.
But you have picked Sicily.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the 2, you have picked Sicily. And I want to ask you, first of all, when you first went back to where your family's from, take us back to that day where you said you walked. Oh, we've got fireworks. This is welcome to Sicily.
I'm famous.
Walk me back to that day when you went to where the salt mines are, and you walked on the street that your family
walked
So
on.
take me back to that feeling. How was that?
It took me a while to find where it was, because the house is no longer there. There's no address anymore, because it's now either.
Wait a sec. Fireworks, folks. Everything happens
they
here.
wanted me back here.
Let me see. Can you see a little bit of fireworks there? No. And I'm not sure what kind of celebration, but there you go. This is live television, everyone.
In Sicily, it could be, somebody got born, somebody married, somebody, saint was reincarnated. Who knows? Fireworks everywhere. I love it.
All right. So take me back to that time, that day when you went there.
I was looking for the homestead. I was wanting that ancestral home, to see what it looked like. And like I said, it wasn't there anymore. So I pulled off the road. There was a wonderful policeman there, and he kind of directed me here and there, and he directed me towards the salt pans.
Yeah.
And when I saw them, there was this feeling that was unbelievable. I mean, my great uncles, my grandfather, they were all right there. And you could it's different than thinking of an ancestral home. I was literally walking on the same ground, help dig a little bit of salt that was their job.
Yeah.
And got literally pennies for it. And it's backbreaking work. It wasn't easy. And when you're 5 years old, 6 years old, that's how they had to live.
Yeah. And when they went to the United States, what type of work did they do?
Well, like most Italian and Sicilian immigrants, especially the Sicilians, all hard workers.
Yeah.
And so those are the kind of jobs they got. My grandfather ended up going to work in the coal mines of West Virginia. And there were small enclaves packed with Sicilian immigrants. Yeah, and so they got into my immediate family. My grandmother and grandfather ended up in Cincinnati, Ohio, where Grandpa worked for the Cincinnati Gas and Electric Company for years. A little story about Grandpa is my uncle also was a regional supervisor. He got a call out one night, Pete, we don't know what to do with this ditch. And he said, why? And they wouldn't tell him. So he went down to the job site, and there was a ditch that was hand dug. And one of the things they used to do is they would put a brass or a copper coin with the person's initials on it.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, my grandfather helped dig that ditch.
Wow.
Whether it's still there or not, I have no idea, but it was just unbelievable.
All right. I want to know from our viewers, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, where your ancestral home is here in Sicily, and maybe share some of your stories. Maybe we'll read a few of those later on. Now, Jimmy, so then you came in 94.
I came in 94.
And you became a chaplain at Sigonella Naval Base.
Right. I had left the Marine Corps, 2nd Marine Division, after the Persian First Gulf War. And this was kind of a payback tour. And I was able to come to Sicily, and I walked off the plane. And it's like you said when you just got back.
Yeah.
There's this unbelievable feeling when you walk on this island and Sicily is in your blood.
Yeah.
There is it's weird. And so I lived in a little town right outside the base, wonderful Italian people. I'd get through with Sunday Mass on the base, and I'd be running up the street up to the Mother Church, throwing my cassock on, trying to get dressed for their celebration. And it was just fun. I mean, I loved every moment here.
And that was your first or second time?
That was my first time.
That was
ever.
your first time ever, 94. Yeah. And then subsequently, you've been 3 other times. I just keep
coming back and coming back. So, make a long story short, I've decided this is where I want to finally retire. And that's part of what I'm doing here this time. Spend a little bit longer and really looking at whether to rent, whether to buy, what is better, what's worse.
Now, I want to know from 94, then you came again when?
94, and then I came back in 2000. I came back in
2019 with us.
Right, 2019.
With us, and
this
then
time.
This time.
Yeah.
I want to know from 94 to now, what are some of the changes you've observed?
Oh, well, first off, things that haven't changed. Driving here is crazy. Get ready if you're coming here to go rent a car. Be prepared. Second thing, wear your mask. They're all wearing them. I'm telling you, flat out, wear your mask.
But in terms of Sicily,
Sicily is just awesome. There are many improvements. Handicap access has much better than it used to be. I think people have gotten used to having an expat or an American presence on the island that's different than the Second World War, that was different than immediately after. They know those of us who have come back want to be here. And so the response is they're as warm as it can be. It's like they become a family immediately. I can think of Francesca and Graziella and the other Eszter.
And what about the roads on the way here? You
Roads-
did mention that you saw
Yeah,
a little bit
a
that
little
it
bit
got
of wearing down on that?
I think in this area, the little bit of wearing down had to do with Etna.
Yeah, Etna
Yeah.
and the earthquakes involved.
Yeah.
With the many eruptions.
Yeah. So, all right. So you keep coming back here. What is it that draws you to Sicily? Now, name 4 or 5 things besides the obvious, the food, the scenery, and all of that. I love you. Look at the beautiful necklace he made me.
Actually, Eszter and Alfred have made this again come alive for me. That's one. 2, the best food in the world, without a doubt. It's the best food in the world. Sorry, all you French people, but this is the best food in the world. There's a sense of calmness in Sicily. One of the things I think we're struggling with in the States right now. This place literally is hectic in one moment, but immediately after the hecticness comes this just supreme calm.
Yeah, that's a really good analysis just for Sicily in general.
Yeah.
The chaos and the calmness, the fire of Etna, the giving of Etna, the sweet, the savory, the position of life here is very accentuated.
It is totally and completely in a minute. It can change from chaos to total pace.
Yeah.
Total peace.
Total peace.
Total peace. And this stuff doesn't hurt.
Of course.
Nero de Avila on my top 5 list.
So now so talk a little bit about the process, because you've been sort of trying to look for a place to live for a while, and you're looking at different areas, hoping that on this trip you pin it down. What are some of the things that you're looking for in a place to live?
I would love a view of the ocean, the sea. It's right here.
Mm-hmm.
But if that doesn't happen, the mountains, even the grasslands, the rolling hills. And that's why it's so difficult, really, to decide on a place to live, because every single place in Sicily has its own mystique. There's a mystery to it. And
That's
with
a good way of
all
putting
the
it.
people who have come through this island, different places kind of tend to focus on who conquered it first. Whether it's Greek or Roman or Spanish or, Norman or Arabic. And that's part of the fun of looking over here. And also from living over here in the mid-90s and seeing how they really build things here, you want to look. You really do.
Want to look. Now, you talk about all the conquerors. What is one of your favorite periods of history here in Sicily, and why?
Definitely the Norman Byzantine occupation of the island. Number one, because they brought with them the most beautiful art, two-dimensional though, that you'll ever see. And they're really hidden jewels. They are really unbelievable, precious gems. And they're buried in walls. They're buried in churches. They're
most remote places.
Yeah, in the most weird places. You walk into a church, or you walk into a public building, and there's a, centuries-old mosaic that just hand done. And I don't know, Eszter, it's almost hard to describe. This place is so filled with mystery and with awe and with life.
And that's one of the big things for me. You talk about life. There's always something happening here, whether it's a saga or it's rain or it's sun or it's Etna or it's
snow
or
yes, folks, it does snow on this island.
But for me, legends and the mystique that goes around, the rocks down here in Cittadinanza, the Ciclopsi, and the stories. And even today we were driving to Pagipoco, which is our
there we
are. And we drove by this remote old brick building, destroyed brick building. Okay, we're back. Sorry, folks.
Modern technology in a foreign land.
Listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to finish up with Jim right now. And then here's what I'm going to tell you guys, because I really enjoyed this conversation and I really like the story that you have. So what I'd like to do is tape you. We'll do a tape conversation. But
Sure.
Before we go, just want to say hello to our Facebook and YouTube watchers, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have those t-shirts and hats for sale. So message me for any of those. But I want to just ask Jim to give a final thing, a little bit of an itinerary, give people an idea of what you're going to be doing for the next month or so.
For the next month or so, a lot of it is going to be property hunting. A lot of it is going to be going to places I haven't been to. And, you know, even though this is my fourth time here, there are so many things I still haven't seen.
Yeah, we keep saying that, right?
Yeah, I
oh,
mean-
you have to do that. You have to do that.
Well, Eszter and I were talking about it today. It's just an unbelievable island in the fact that there's so many hidden gems.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the Sicilians kind of take it for granted because they see it every
For
day.
sure. And Jimmy, let me tell you that I have many Sicilians tell me that I've seen more parts of Sicily than they have.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, people sometimes ask me, even our friend Stefania, she hasn't been to some places that we have. So a lot of things for you to do. All right. On that note, ladies and
Love ya.
gentlemen,
Take
thank
care,
you
folks.
for watching.
Chin chin.
Ching ching. And we'll see you on another episode of You, Me, and Sicily.
Amo Nini.
Amo Nini. Ciao.